to write something that was very inspirational. I wrote an autobiographical fiction. So it's an auto fiction. So these are diaries from a fictional perspective. I did that, guys, because some of the topics are very deep, and I wanted to do a precautionary tale using my life stories. Whether you know me or whether you don't, I've been in the entertainment industry for many years, and I grew up in Los Angeles in Los Angeles County. So this book is really good for young people that are coming to LA, coming to Hollywood, wanting to get into the entertainment industry. There's so many things that go on behind the scenes, and you can really get caught up out here.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee. And he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee. And I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who in my judgment is the master historian, taught us that of all our studies, history is the most attractive, and it is best qualified to reward the researcher. History is most attractive. Why should history be most attractive? Because history is the recorded time of the human family in its struggle to overcome obstacles. There is no life that is without struggle. The Holy Quran teaches us that man, meaning man and woman, is made to face difficulties. And after difficulty comes ease. But it is history that guides us through difficulty. For if you know how people who had difficulty yesterday got through, and if your difficulty is somewhat similar, then today we also can get through if we follow the guidance of history. This is why Carter G. Woodson and many of our black giants fought for black people to know our history. Because in not knowing our history, we don't have a guide. And without a guide, we are lost.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace and blessings. Y'all know I have to show the commercials because I have to give y'all time to get dressed, get in the car, drive over here, park, get out the car, come in, get your tickets together, come in, sit down. I don't know if y'all getting your popcorn or what, but anyway, instead of doing like a long intro, you know how some people, I was on a podcast the other day and it was like, so-and-so will be live in 10 minutes. I figured I may as well entertain y'all, at least while I'm getting dressed and getting ready. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. We took a break from our Building Our Economy series. You know, here on the Mind of an Entrepreneur show, this is where we explore mental strategies to help you navigate the world of business. And so I've been doing series, and we also introduce you to industry disruptors. This is where when you want to find out who's who and who's what in the game, whatever industry you're in, trust me, it's not the pop culture. It's not the people who are paying for likes and subscribes. It's the people on shows like this who are making the world go around. So today I'm going to introduce you to a good sister of mine. I'm so excited. She is a groundbreaking person in that she's a spiritual person. She's in the entertainment business, which is a tough thing to be and do. And what I love is, like me, she's going to give y'all some free game. So before you go running out to LA, before you jump in the game, learn a little bit. Okay. Her name is Mecca Muhammad. And what I want to do is read and tell you a little bit about her. Okay. Before we get started. So my sis Mecca Muhammad is from Los Angeles. Mecca started her professional career as a singer, a songwriter, and a ghostwriter. So a lot of y'all famous singers and people like that y'all hear them singing songs, you'd be surprised if somebody like my sister that's behind the pen. Okay. She credits her success in entertainment to writing and singing background vocals for many established and successful artists. And while growing up in Los Angeles, Mecca was exposed to gang culture as a teenager. Gang culture inspired Mecca to write her first book, American Mecca Diaries of a Dope Girl. While pursuing her music career, Mecca has traveled to over 35 countries around the world. She's a global thought leader. Mecca started her boutique entertainment company, Five Oceans Booking, producing events for some of the world's biggest stars. After much success in the entertainment industry, she expanded her portfolio. Mecca became a real estate investor. You can't tell me that sisters can't do it all. And she invested in various things, including apps. Her life mission is to share her wealth of knowledge to help others. This is one of those persons, I'm telling y'all, she bought and paid for the experiences, and she's giving you the game for free. She's already paid for it, and she got receipts. Okay. Her philanthropic work includes sharing her experiences with women who have been negatively affected by gang and drug culture. She has hosted many women entrepreneur summits to create spaces and networks for women to share their business and experiences that they have had in life and in business. And she will write more books. She ain't done. This is not the last that you're going to hear of my sister. So I'm going to bring her on. Write this down. We're going to be giving you this website throughout the show. Five Oceans Booking. Booking is without an S. Five Oceans Booking. We'll put it up here. I want you to download her ebook. But let me bring my sister in here. Wait till y'all see how fly she is. Look at that. Look. Oh, she got her coin.
Okay, let me bring this on.
That's right. Assalamu alaikum, sis.
Well, hello, Queen. How are you?
I'm good. I miss you. How you doing?
Looking good.
Yeah, you're looking good too, girl. I'm so proud of you and happy for you.
Thank you, Queen. I just love you.
Yeah. Listen, we clicked as soon as we met. So when I
met you, I fell in love with you. Remember, we had your ice cream that was named after you. After we took our
and we ended up
So fabulous.
Sucking down all those calories that day. Remember, we had ice cream and peach cobbler, and I was looking at you like, I know you just didn't make me do this.
I fell in love with you. I said, this is my girl.
Well, you know, I got you. Anything I can do. When I saw your new venture, I said, let me reach out to my sister, see what I can do to support, to help, and just be there for you.
Thank you, Queen. I so appreciate you. Can I just say, I admire you. You know, I love entrepreneurs. I love women entrepreneurs. I love just, you know, women that are groundbreaking. You know, you are such an inspiration to me, to my family. We just love you and adore you and everything that you do for our culture, our community. It's just an honor to just be on the same platform as you.
Look at you. Well,
I'm
listen,
just saying, I mean,
you know, I love your family, Brother Michael.
Talk about what you do. Let's talk about you too.
we gonna do these downloads today. We're gonna get you downloaded. How's Brother Michael doing?
He's good. You know, that's my younger brother. And he's traveling here, traveling there. You know, they got their real estate thing they're doing that I've assisted with as well, you know. But, you know, he's doing really great and just, he's doing a lot of traveling, you know.
That's good. That's good. You got to tell him I miss him too. For those of you who don't know, friend of the show and the person you see me doing a lot of filming with around Sajda House, Brother Michael Amir is her little brother.
I'm big sis. Even though I look up to him. You know?
Yeah, he's a great person. You know, sis, you've been in the entertainment game for 20 years.
Queen, yes, actually over 20 years. You know, in the entertainment industry, they have this thing called your real age and your stage age. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No, but I've been in the entertainment industry, singing in the studios professionally, getting checks since I was 13 years old. My first demo I did was for a brother named Doug Rashid. He was actually married to Shaka Khan. I actually got to open up for Shaka Khan before. He's a Grammy Award winning producer. And he kind of found me. We started doing demos, and that's how I got started. When I was 13.
Timer.
Yeah, sweetheart, can you plug this back in? What happened?
That happened to me. I was doing a show one time in the office, and I forgot the lights were on a timer. All of a sudden, it just went dark.
Okay, hold on, Queen. We have to turn that light on, sweetheart.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
I don't know what happened with this.
That's okay. Look, It's live TV. Don't worry about it.
What happened?
It's just raw. We just on here doing our thing.
Unplug it and plug it again, sweetheart. That's my son. We
How
can talk
now. How old is he now, sis?
He's 12 now.
Oh.
You know, he just got accepted into the junior NBA, so I'm a basketball mom too. It's on? Okay, Queen, we can just keep going. I don't know what happened. I had the little ring light and it had it all mapped out and it just kind of went out.
Okay. Can you move your camera down a little bit? Because it's cutting off your head a little bit.
Okay.
Probably need your tech support to come over there and help you.
I know, right? Is that better?
A little more. Yep, you good. That's good. You're in there now. So anyway, going back, the ex-husband who found you and you were doing background singing.
Yes, and demos. For other artists when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so you started and then you started traveling around the world?
I started doing demos and singing backgrounds at 13. And I was just in the studio with a lot of different people, a lot of rappers, singers, and I was actually founded by Ian Burke, who was he's the president of ASCAP. And one of my friends, she was a rapper, and she called me and she said, Mecca, sing. And I'm like, okay, I'm like 18 or 19 years old. So I started singing my heart out. I don't know who I'm singing for, and it was Ian Burke. He's the guy that founded Escape TLC. Who else? Andre 3000, Outkast. So he was in Atlanta. So I was singing for this big time guy. He founded TLC. I think I said TLC. He founded TLC. So he was putting together a girl group, and they were looking for a Black girl, and they had different ethnicities. And my friend was just talking me up, and I sang. And girl, I was on the plane to Atlanta like the next day and got signed to Sony Urban Music. I had a whole record deal and everything.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about some of your music because I went and listened to your whole catalog. I listened to the whole thing. Now, you recently were on, what was it, season 10, episode 1 of Basketball Wives.
Oh, yes, Queen. I've been on the show, a friend of the show, for 6 years.
Okay.
Before I got on the phone with you, Jackie Christie just called me.
Okay.
She's one of our dear friends in real life.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been on that show for 6 years as a friend to the show, but stay tuned. You might see me more.
Tell me about that. How did that happen?
Well, randomly, just being in the world of basketball, I have a 12-year-old son with an NBA player. He played for the Lakers, Samaki Walker. So that's how they found me, I guess, because I have a son and I'm kind of in that world. And they just kind of been inviting me to the shows. I was just invited to different events. And then they just kind of kept asking me to come on to the show. And me and Jackie are really good friends in real life. And she'll just invite me here and there. And I just ended up on TV and been doing it like 6-7 years.
Let me tell you a little secret. I might have told you this. So my mom, I call her like an original basketball wife, right? Because my dad played basketball and my mom was in that world. She was them before them.
Right.
Like, for real them. Like she ain't on here today, so I can tell a little bit of her business. She gonna hear the recording and tell me something, but listen, don't how them women be all around the basketball wives and stuff like that. My mom did not play because my mom was fine. She's still fine, but was fine then and could fight.
Right.
So
it's a little.
Listen, and I laugh all the time because I said, mom could be on there and tell some of her backstory. She probably won't tell it though, because they old school. They don't be wanting to.
They don't want to tell their business. I fought Queen whether I'm going to be on the show or not because, the reputation of the show precedes itself, and it's a lot that goes on that show, and I'm trying to keep a decorum about myself, and I'm like, trying to make sure I present myself in a good light.
Yeah, that's tough.
Hustle on there, and I just try to stay away from that.
Yeah,
I always try to keep it classy.
I'm sorry, what you say?
I always try to keep it classy and cute.
Yeah, that's all. You got to just the beautiful thing about, and we'll go into this because growing up in Islam and and deciding that you accept this lifestyle, you have to figure out how to live and how to be, but still navigate your career because I spent my first 20 years or so in the nation just kind of honeycombed and cocooned in a certain environment, and then at a certain point it goes, okay, am I going to pursue my career? What's next for me? What did I show up on the earth to do? And so you have to figure out, how do you be yourself and move into these environments? So my thing is, I just go around converting people. I convert white people, Hispanic people, Asians, Black. I convert everybody.
I'm so glad you said that because it's always a fine line of just always being yourself first. In the entertainment industry, television, music, you're always going to be approached with just madness. Okay. And I think what really keeps me centered, because I'm considered a nation baby. My dad was 5. Yeah, my mom joined before I was born. I was born into the nation. I wrote my letter when I was 16. So I'm like, a nation baby. And I always, no matter where I'm at in the world, no matter what experiences I have, I always hold on to my culture and what I was taught in my morals. So, you just have to hold on to that because this industry will come at you left and right. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of upbringing, talk about that a little more because there are, now we're going into second, third even now fourth generation Muslims. And so a lot of times the children are they're trying to figure out, how do I navigate? How do I go to college and still be me? Talk a little bit about what that was like being a nation baby, but then wanting to sing.
You know, I was always protected. You know, I call my mom one of the original momagers. So when I was underage, she was there, honey. Okay. My mom was there. You know, when I was about 14, 15, I was in a singing group. I was signed to Chris Stokes in a group called MQ3. And I was like 15, 16 years old, and we were traveling here, traveling there. And my mom would go with me. So I was very protected with my momager. She didn't play that. So I was very protected in that realm. When I got older, I just had to make good decisions on where I placed myself and what I did and didn't do, you know.
It's just real. You have to figure out. I know what I found in the business world is you just have to figure out where you're going to go and where you're not going to go. I learned certain places, like I'm not even going to take myself there. Sometimes you may have events where you got to just make a quick appearance, and you may pop in and pop out, or you may have somebody who hosts the event who respects you that'll say, you know, hey, don't worry, you know, you're not going to be disrespected, but you just got to feel it out and know how to vibe.
So I have a funny story too, Queen. So when I was, you know, trying to get in where I fit in the music industry, you know, my uncles in the FOI, they were doing the security for everybody. Okay. So it'd be times I'd be out and about, and he'd be like, go home. Go home. I'd be like, yes, sir.
Yes, yeah, sir. You out there just trying to do your thing.
With my friends that have no clue what's going on because they weren't raised in, you know, in the same, you know, they weren't raised in the nation, and they'll be looking at me. They're like, we gotta go. I'm like, girl, we gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah.
My uncle said it's time to go. We gotta go. That's happened a couple of times.
Wow. And then how did both you and Michael end up in the entertainment industry? You and your younger brother.
So I could tell you the story about Mr. Michael Amir. So he was going to USC in LA. He was going to college, and he was studying for film. And you know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of course, he's friends with everybody, and he had a tight friendship with Mr. Michael Jackson. And there were already brothers that were, and his family were already, you know, working with Mr. Michael Jackson. And they, brother Bashir would invite some of the younger brothers to come assist him because he was, if I'm not mistaken, you know, had dealings with the security at that time. So he brought my brother around, and Mr. Jackson just took a real liking to him. And it started with his library. And the more information that Mr. Jackson got from my brother, he realized that he was in film school at USC. And I believe my brother introduced him to the professor, and they all built a relationship. And slowly he just had him working for him to where he worked his way. You know, he got permission from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of course, because ain't nothing happening if, you know, we don't have permission from him. And so with his permission, he was able to work his way to being the chief of staff for Mr. Michael Jackson, and then brought other brothers, you know, with him.
Yeah.
And so,
you know, I had this conversation with Brother Michael, and I'll ask you too, how is it when, you know, you're working in, let me use myself. You know, a lot of times in business or just in life, people make up stories and they lie.
yes.
Or they see you with somebody and they come up with something, and you're going, where did they get that from? But it's even worse or even more magnified in the entertainment industry. How do you navigate that, especially as a Muslim, when people just lie and make up stuff?
Girl, you know, Queen, I've heard so many lies just from everywhere in every direction. And I think, you know, we're just always taught to tell the truth regardless of circumstance. So for me, a lot of the times it's just a lot of restraint. Everything doesn't really need an answer, you know, as long as you know the truth and it's not harming anyone, I just kind of let people do what they do. People going to say what they say and say they work for this person, say they did that, and it's not the truth. And it comes to the point where if I'm asked, I'll tell you the truth. But a lot of the times, Queen, you just have to just let it roll off.
Yeah.
I really don't pay attention to lies.
Yeah.
We know the truth. We all know the truth. So
That's right. That's right, sis. I was listening to one of your songs, the feature song Caught Up, and I was thinking about you talking about how you grew up around gang culture.
I did.
Advocating for women who have been victims of the gang and drug culture. How did all that come about?
So I grew up in various cities in Los Angeles, California. I have an older brother, but I'm the second oldest. I'm the oldest girl. So I kind of just...
I met him, right?
Yes. Yeah. My oldest brother, Farad. You met him.
Yeah. He ate ice cream with us, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So, when you are, how can I say this? I want to say sheltered. When you are sheltered, because let me tell you, girl, we went to Compton Mosque. Ever since I was younger, I grew up in the Compton Mosque number 54. And I'm telling you, like Monday, my mom had my brothers there. Wednesday, she had us there. Friday, we were there. Saturday, I was there in the morning. Sunday, I was, we were always at the mosque. So I think I came to a point where, a little rebellion kind of kicks in, and you start to hang around people that, you just hang around people you grew up with. And a lot of the young guys and girls that I grew up with were gangbanging. That's just what it is. And so one of my dearest friends, and I'll never forget him, his name was Dominique Howard. We were teenagers and he was murdered. He was in a gang, and he was murdered and shot so many times. And, before he was murdered, he would always come to our house. My brothers knew him. My mom loved him. He was just one of my closest friends. And, that really changed my life. Going to his funeral, he was buried in like a tracksuit of the color of the gang he was in. And it really touched my heart, and I really saw a different side of life and lifestyle. So that person kind of really influenced me a lot. And that's when I kind of first realized, gang culture is big here in Los Angeles. And, the older I got and the more people I knew, they were just in those lifestyles, so and then in the music industry, a lot of that spills over into the music industry, and a lot of the times you have these guys, these rappers, they're trying to get in contact with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because there's so much conflict that spills over into the music. And it's just kind of all over the place. It's like the wild, wild west. So I grew up seeing that firsthand because I was in the studio singing background vocals for like Snoop Dogg and like all these rappers. And it's just kind of like, it's, I'm on a song with a Dub C. These are like West Coast rappers, but they're like gang members. So you see a lot of the stuff that's happening in the music. You're singing in the studio, you're singing in real life. So I just kind of grew up around all of that.
So tell me, what inspired American Mecca Diaries of a Dope Girl?
So the Dope Girl is like a play off of the word dope. Oh, that's dope. I wanted to play off of that. But the diaries came from, I just wanted to give precautionary tales to young people really coming to Los Angeles, because just to be very transparent, a lot of times I see people get caught up in the entertainment industry through the fast lifestyle in LA.
Okay.
So, being grounded in my faith and my culture, I've never taken drugs. I've never got into that. So I like to tell people and, give them precautionary tales of what can happen if you're not somehow centered. Okay. So that's how that came about. I wanted to kind of give a background of Los Angeles and a background of the entertainment industry, and they're fictional diaries because some of the topics are deep. So I did it through characters. Yeah. But it's just to kind of tell people, hey, LA is no joke. It's very expensive out here. And there's a lot of people who are saying who they are and they're not. And I've seen so many young girls and guys come into LA and come into Hollywood and just really get thrown off from what they came out here to do. And when you're in big camps like the camps that I've been in, you see it all. And so I just kind of wanted to be an inspiration to these people to kind of stand strong in whatever it is that centers you, so that you can make it to the other side, because in the entertainment industry, the shelf life is really short. And I wanted to give people other avenues, with business,
Mm-hmm.
other things, and having other things that you're doing, because most money I've made have been on the business side versus the talent side. So it's just kind of like diaries of that journey of
Okay.
where I am today.
What is one of the most impactful experiences that you had, like a bullet you dodged or something you got yourself into that you could tell us about?
Pertaining to, let's just say, when I signed my first record deal, I was not business savvy, and they were throwing, I think for my first deal, I got like $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought I made it. I thought I was balling. I was like, woo,
Yeah.
my family. I'm like, hey, I'm balling. But, I didn't read the contract. So I think that was the first bullet I took in business, and said, wow, they were trying to sign us to a 360 deal,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a disaster. They gave us a lawyer and attorney with the label. And I remember we got dropped. It was such a blessing we got dropped. So in getting dropped in terms of the record label is, after your first term, because we had 4 options. So we had a year and 4 options. So we got dropped. And that was like the best thing that could have happened, because we didn't have to pay the recoupment of the money. But that was a real, that was the first time I was like, wow, people really can get you just by paperwork. And if you don't really read what's going on, you won't have any money. So I'm thinking I'm getting all this money, and we should have been getting a lot more money. The deal was worth like $1 million or something dollars, and we were getting nothing compared to that. So that was kind of an eye opener for me, signing my first contract and not really reading it. That's the first and last time I did that.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. And then, right now, if I was a 15-year-old girl saying I'm about to run away from home and go to LA, what would you say to me?
So what I would say to you is I would probably have you talk to one of my clients. Her name is Alexis Guy, and she was trafficked at around that age. And I would probably like, girl, let's get on a phone call. And she did the same thing, and she has a beautiful story. Her name is Alexis Guy. She was on I'm Loving Hip Hop, and I'm one of her managers. And she talks about this very transparent. So I feel very open to talk about this as well. But she was trafficked as a young girl running away. And, the people that trafficked her were having her doing horrible things. And I would probably just be very transparent and say, you don't want to do that, dear, because there's people that want to prey upon you. And, human trafficking is very real. And a lot of the time that's what happens there's a couple of streets out here in LA where that goes on. And it's very sad.
I ran on a young person's desire to be in the industry, and then pretending, or maybe getting you there, but then controlling you, and or
yeah, things goes on. And that's where a lot of people get drugged. We don't want to talk about these things, but I think it's very necessary to talk about it, especially if you've been very sheltered. You have to stay away from it. You have to live a clean lifestyle. I don't care what your religion is or what you want to claim what you believe in. I think you should stay away from any types of drugs, because I see that a lot in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something for me, I didn't grow up in the nation, but I was relatively sheltered. And when I graduated from college and started hanging with my friends that I went to school with, a lot of them were from Chicago. They had a lot of street sense. They knew all these things about the streets, and we would be driving. This is in the 90s, and I just graduated. We'd be driving down the street, and I say, "Why all those dudes got on white T-shirts, and why they yelling?" And because I didn't know, because
you're sheltered. How would you know?
And so one thing that I did that I think that saved me, because the crack epidemic, the drug game, that whole life was so rampant, in the 90s and at that time, that I just decided that I'm not going to try to be them. I'm not going to try to do anything that's above my pay grade.
Right.
I'll never have the experiences that they have because of how they grew up. And I just said, Allah, I know I got a mean intuition. And I'm just going to trust my intuition. And I'm just going to stay in my lane. And that's me.
That is so smart. And I'm so glad you came into that realization, because there's that side of, the people that get caught up into, becoming addicts. And it's very, Allah himself has to come and save you from that. Okay. And then there's the other side where it's the business side of it, where it's the glamorous side. And you got to stay away from that too. Okay. So,
yeah.
You got to stay away from both sides. And I feel that, any fast life, it's going to catch up with you, so to have that intuition, queen, it's a God-given gift, because there's so many people that just don't have that, or get pressured into, doing things. Exactly. Yeah. So, it's always, we're chosen for a reason, so that we can use our platforms to give voices to people that don't have those voices. And so that's why I really love having these conversations, especially with queens like you, because hopefully if we can just get one person to say, you know what, this touched my heart, I'm going to stay on the right path. That's, I did what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I really want people to really take these tales, these precautionary tales, and internalize them. And everything that glitters is not gold. I think that's pretty much one of my biggest themes in my book. Everything that glitters is not gold, and you have to stay centered and focused to your morals. I think that's the biggest thing I want to relay.
Is the solution us having our own labels and putting out our own music and distributing it? Because everybody doesn't have a parent that, like yours, that can just take off and go with you and there. What's the solution? Because arts and craft is so important in a civilized society, right? Art, music, culture. But how do we promote that when this industry is so wicked?
Queen, I'm so glad you said that, because personally, I went to Chapman University. I went to school for opera. I received a full scholarship to sing opera. So I'm thinking I'm about to be this next opera star. But once I got into the industry, I'm like, oh, I'm about to sing R&B. The industry really, it's kind of like, David and Goliath. You're fighting this big, massive institution, and it's just coming at you full force. So if you don't have the tools to really stay focused on what it is that you want to do, because there's so many beautiful artists that have great music that's musically inclined. Like, I know how to play the piano and sight ring, but when I was singing in the music group, they just wanted us to dance and sing la la la. They didn't care that I played the piano, or they didn't care that I could sight ring. They didn't care that I sang opera. They just wanted me to dance. And so I think what you said at first, having our own labels, that costs a lot of money, So I think building the capital and having the platforms of your own is always, that's what we're taught, do for yourself. Even in the entertainment industry, I do find that, artists that are independent, because after I was signed with Sony Urban Music, I was an independent artist. So once I was independent, I was able to do what I wanted to do. So I would always suggest for artists that have some type of morals about themselves to go the independent route, because you'll go in there as an artist thinking that you have your image and everything all mapped out, and you'll literally have a board of people that'll tell you, no, that's not what's selling.
Yeah.
What's selling right now, we're going to go on the internet and see who's viral, and That's what we're doing. That's what you're doing, you know. And then once you sign those contracts, and that's why I said one of the biggest bullets I bit was signing the contracts, because all of that is in there. You won't have any creative control. You'll get caught up in doing 4, 5, 6, 7 albums, and it's not what you want to sing. You won't have no idea what you're singing, because you'll have writers. They'll hire people like me or ghost writers or whomever to write your whole album, and you're just kind of like, you lost yourself. Then you're feeling bad about yourself. You know, it's the cycle, Queen. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is building up your own capital.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive. Studio time, unless you have, you can kind of barter relationships, but that gets old. You know, nobody wants to keep bartering relationships. They want to get paid. Okay, so unless you have the capital, unless you have create your own label. I created my own entertainment company, so you know I own all of my masters, but I had to pay for that.
Yeah.
You know, I had to be the pay the cost to be the boss, to be, and that's just how it is as an artist. You have to pay to control whatever it is that you're doing, and you have to have people behind you. You have to have a team behind you that believes in you and have the same like-minded goals.
Yeah.
You know,
it costs money.
It costs money. You my invest and get the capital.
Yeah. So
get an investor that believes in what you believe in or something, but you got to have the money. I would suggest having your own money, because that's how I was successful with my events. I would put out the money first, you know.
You said something that just made me think, and I see this a lot with artists. How do you grow up thinking that all you're going to do, all you've ever thought you wanted to do and be, is a singer or a piano player or whatever, and then you get into this industry, you hit a brick wall. How do you emotionally make the pivot and go, all right, well, I'm going to go into real estate, or I'm going to
your bills due, your bills are due, your mortgage is due. You got to pay your bills. I mean, it comes to a point, you know, the struggling artist, that's real. You know, people, you know, when I talk to a lot of artists, they be so caught up in the creativity, they don't have a clue about the business. So with me being signed as a teenager and pretty much getting robbed from my deal, it made me say, I don't want to be the poor singer in the front. You know, I want to make money. So you have to find avenues where you can actually make money in this business. You can make money writing for other artists. You can make money managing other artists. There's putting on the events. I've made the most money that I've ever made booking events and concerts and going on tours with artists. So to me, you have to be very business savvy if you're going to be in the entertainment industry. But I live in LA, okay? And the cost of living is very high. You have to have multiple streams of income. Yeah. So, you know, once those, you know, you live a lavish life, you got to pay the bills. So you got to find different avenues to create a lifestyle for yourself, you know, the lifestyle that you want to live. So I think it's very smart for anybody to have different streams of income. Yeah. You want to be able to live the lifestyle that you want to live.
You mentioned those different streams of income, and I know that you are into real estate and those kinds of investments. Tell us about that.
So I'm a real estate investor. So I own different properties, and a lot of this comes with my brother, you know, and their company. But aside from that, I had a property management company where I would put tenants in the properties that, you know, my brother owned. And we kind of had the little family business thing going on. But then, you know, I just invested in different properties and have tenants, and that's a great form of income.
Yeah, no, that's real in terms of just thinking outside of the box and figuring out how you're going to make money. 'Cause entertainment always for me, I not like you, but I grew up singing and playing the flute and the piano.
Oh, I know that. We gotta play together.
And but I always wanted to be a businesswoman. So even when I tried my hand at entertainment, I was like, this ain't enough money for the work. Yeah. I'm not managing nobody and doing all this work and getting 10%. So if $100,000 come in, all I'm getting is 10,000. I'm the one. I know you singing and everything, but what's really going on? So
because you're creating opportunities for them to sing, like you're really putting in the work. I think
Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, nah, this is too, it's too much. And I think I didn't fit the profile.
Mm.
I think I just they probably was like, don't be messing with this girl. I'm asking too many questions and
Yeah, you're too smart.
yeah. I was way too cerebral, so it just didn't.
Sometimes you gotta play the role like, oh, I'm just here,
I wasn't taught to do that because my father never let me. I never got to talk in that kind of voice. He's like, look, be feminine, but be assertive. Express yourself, say what you want. Teach people how to treat you, and
Yeah.
my father coming from that basketball game in the 70s, that kind of pimp era. So he put me up on a lot of game.
Uh-huh.
So by the time I got ready to go into it, I knew too much.
Mm-hmm. I kind of have this. Well, if my dad, he's very street savvy. So I was getting gems here and there, and it really helped me out because in the entertainment industry, it's very male dominated.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to sit at the table with the big boys and hold your guns especially when I do my business for my entertainment company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to come in there assertive and be about your business and your business only.
Is that changing a little bit? Like, I know you've been on Basketball Wives and you and Jackie Christie are friends. And are you seeing that change a little bit?
As far as it being male dominated?
Yeah, or just women being able to have a voice a little more?
I don't really see it changing that much.
Wow. In
No.
2024.
You would think so. I feel like it's fake news when you're feeling like it is because there's a facade that it's kind of that way, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could sort of see the facade.
Mm-hmm.
And that as women, we're not really making the breakthroughs that it looks like we're making. Even in business, believe it or not. I mean, there are more of us going into business and we are doing better than what we did do, but
I agree.
there's still the discrimination against the sisters like myself who are who work their way to get there, as opposed to people who do special favors or who maybe come out of entertainment and go into business. They might get Entrepreneur of the Year, but then somebody like me who
That
don't
really
may not get it. So there's still
yeah.
those dynamics that exist. So I understand what
Correct. Yeah. I feel very proud because I feel like I'm like personally getting to know more women entrepreneurs with great businesses.
Yeah.
We just need to be more in those decision-making positions. I feel in entertainment. I can't really speak to other industries. I can speak in real estate. I feel like we're breaking through just as a community, not necessarily sex, gender, but as far as the Black community, I feel like we're doing great strides with real estate. I can't say that. I feel like there's more conversations about investing, where to invest. And I really feel my brother and, Oasis is really spearheading that conversation. They partnered with Earn Your Leisure. They're a great platform about investing and financial literacy. So I do see as a community as a whole, we're doing better in those conversations. But in entertainment, not so much.
And despite popular belief, there are a lot of Black people doing a lot of good things. We kind of tend to buy into that narrative that said Black people ain't doing nothing and we can't do this and we can't do that. But I know for me, I coach a lot of entrepreneurs. I help a lot of Black people. I mean, I have a sister right now I'm working with. She's building a franchise. I mean, there are some Black people doing some really good things. We just don't get the publicity. And so one of the things that I say to every entrepreneur that I talk to, listen, pull somebody else up, put somebody else in the spotlight, put somebody else in front of checks and give opportunities. It's not going to take anything away from you, but we have to start doing that. We got to be the ones to promote ourselves because the algorithms aren't going to do it.
Girl, the algorithms on social media are such a disaster. So yes, we have to create our own networks to promote our own agendas.
So, tell me before we get ready to get out of here, what is the primary lesson that you will want all of us, because it's not just young people going to Hollywood.
Okay.
Um, what do we need to know? What do we need to guard against? Because, and let me preface it this way. Pop culture is so dominant. And so what happens is it takes over all our lives. You see senior citizens twerking on TikTok.
Yes. I don't mean to laugh. It's ridiculous.
You know you've seen that.
I'm like, what am I watching here?
And so it's like we're like, okay, I see somebody and they're a stripper, I'm gonna dress like that. And people are feeling the pressure of it, and we're all impacted by it, whether we like it or not.
It's like interface. I lived in the middle. I don't know if you know this, Queen, but I lived in Dubai for 3 years, and they block all that stuff. It's like literally illegal to like get on the web and view certain things. It's just blocked in their country. Unfortunately, in America, that's not the case. We're overstimulated, right?
Yes.
You can follow, I'm not really on other platforms, but I am on Instagram, and you can follow who you follow, and the algorithms comes up and you start seeing stuff they're following, and it's just like, it's just a disaster. And in America, we are so celebrity crazed, right? It's a celebrity driven culture because it's like you said, pop culture just kind of runs it out here. So for me, I think you just have to get to the basics and just kind of get to your personal goals. For me, Queen, I have to set a timer for my social media. I can't be on there more than a certain amount of hours per day because I got things to do. I got contracts to look at. I got phone calls to make. And you can just kind of see yourself, spiraling into just the shade room or whatever it is that you're looking at. So for me personally,
circling the drain.
Yeah, I have to set clear boundaries. I don't let my son on there. He's 12. I think we should all set boundaries when it comes to social media because it's such a big part of our lives, and you can really get distracted. So for me, what I do every day, I have a calendar and I have times and I have a schedule. And within that schedule, I set a time aside for when I'm going to do social media, but I don't even post that. Like I post once every week or every couple of weeks. I feel like limiting distractions is crucial for you to meet your goals. I think you just have to set boundaries and be very clear and strategic about what it is you want to do with your life. And then once you find out what it is that you want to do, let's say you want to be an engineer, let's say you want to be in agriculture, real estate agent, whatever it is, get a mentor. If you're going to connect with anybody on social media, start connecting with people that are doing the things that you want to do, but are doing it at a level that you're not at, right? So I think mentorships, and that's why, queens like you are imperative to our culture because you have to connect with people that know what they're doing, right? If somebody's in real estate, you want to talk to somebody that has a portfolio of 10 million, 100 million. You don't want to talk to the struggling real estate person. I
said I can show you how to select the right properties so that you can sell 2-3 years from now and make money. And
exactly. So if you're going to be on social media and you're going to be trolling the net, you need to troll people that are doing what it is that you want to do. And that's what you should be using it for, not like sending DMs to celebrities that are never going to respond to you. Like get connected with people that are in your industries and that are very successful in your industries. For me personally, Queen, I don't deal with anybody that's not doing what I'm doing or better. If you're not doing something better than what I'm doing, I don't got time for it. I just don't personally. And I found myself to be very successful by having a network of successful people around me.
That's exactly
that whole social media thing. Follow people that are doing what you want to do and better, and to study and network. I wouldn't entertain the distractions because who cares who's dating who cares? That has nothing to do with your life. It's not going to make you any money.
That's right. Study. That's what I tell people. And you mentioned something that's key that I want to point out before we go, and that is that yeah, we're so ruled by pop culture and the influencers in pop culture. They affect everybody, even us as Muslims. Sometimes we get so happy when somebody act like they are Muslim or they know us or say something with truth. We get happier over that than over each other. And so I think it's
I
so
see that a
important.
lot.
Yeah, I think it's so important that we wean ourselves off of looking for validation from other people,
I
and
agree.
we validate ourselves and set the tone in the world and wherever we go.
You know, I agree. And let me just say this, Queen. And when you said that, it kind of gave me a light bulb kind of went off because you know, I'm around these people because of my work. I'm not just around, like, you know, I have business
Yeah.
and they're looking for enlightened people. You know, they have yes people around them all the time. Um, I think that's why, you know, I can't, of course, I'm not qualified to speak for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but I feel so many entertainers love coming to him because he's such a light. And
Right.
the entertainment industry is so dark. And, you know, it's like I said, it's a lot of subcultures going on. It's a lot of drugs. It's a lot of, you know, just a lot of subcultures that we got no business being a part of. Okay. And when you start seeing the more and more of that, you become desensitized and you start becoming lost. So when you have the knowledge that we have, you know, that I grew up, you know, having, you know, my parents would make my brothers and I read Message to the Black Man and have us stand up and recite what we read and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
comprehend what, like, we grew up doing that, reciting our actual facts. And once you start being a light, because a lot of these people are lost, let's just be real. They're
Yeah.
lost. They don't know what's going on. They got people running their life. They got handlers. That's real, you know? So for us, instead of us trying to, you know, get validation from them, we should be so secure in our teachings that we're a light and they come to us for knowledge because a lot of them are really missing that. That's just what it is.
That
So,
part.
you know, some of my girls that I manage, they're young. And a lot of them, they don't even know what, you know, the Nation of Islam is. So when they say, when, like, I posted like I was in a garment and they're like, wow, that's cute, girl. What is that? They don't even know what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like a lot of these people are just lost and you just have to kind of give them knowledge. But one thing I don't do, Queen, I don't tell them how I feel. I'll recommend books. I'll say, hey, the minister has this book, go read this book. The minister has this lecture. I think we have to stop kind of giving our own little spin on things and just direct the people
To the source.
to the source. Let's start doing that. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. But a lot of these people are looking for light, and I feel we should be, you know, the light instead of trying to be on their program or trying to get pictures or be cool. It's, I mean, if it's organic and you have an organic relationship, because with me, I really, either I grew up with people, I've written for a lot of these people, so I have organic relationships, but I'm not going to be trolling people just to say I'm around these people. They should be trying to attract to us because
Yeah.
we should be so filled with knowledge, you know, that they should be wanting to find out what, you know, your skin is clear. You, like, what are you eating? How do you eat? Oh, girl, you know how to eat to live, but girl, here, you know, that's how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I try to eat too much, but I'll definitely, you know, give you the information for sure of what works for me.
Like
You
to
know,
be that light and to be that example and be like our Father and bring our environment with us.
hmm and we should educate because a lot of this, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these singers, they want to be, you know, a part of this culture. They don't know about it, but they're like, oh, let me get a tat of like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or the
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. Okay. And we should educate, you know,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. Give them books.
All right. So to download American Mecca, go to fiveoceansbooking.com, right?
Right. Or they can go on my Instagram page and click the link in my bio. It's there
Okay.
too.
Okay. Yep. That's exactly
That's
right. Well, thank you.
right.
Thank you for being here. I can't wait to hang out again and just have our talks. And I'm going to make my way out to LA because we've
Come
been
to LA.
saying that forever.
And thank you for this platform. Thank you for giving people like me a voice. You are such a gem. I don't know if people know how much of a gem you are and how much of a queen you are and how much knowledge you have, and you're always there. You're such a beautiful sister. You're always checking in. Are you checking in on me? And I know you're such a light for so many other people, and you're so knowledgeable. And if anybody is blessed to be in your presence or get knowledge or watch, what you're doing, I suggest it, because girl, I'll come to your page and see what you're on, because like I said, if you're so successful, and it's an honor for me to even be in your presence, because I mean, we can go on and on about all the things that you do, and I'm so inspired by you, and I love you so much. So thank you for having me.
I love you too, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
I just pray that you and your family continue to grow and elevate and be a light for the world.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you. This was fun.
I know, right? We're gonna do it again sometime soon. We got to do a panel. I want to come to your women's summit, so let me know.
Yes, I'm actually holding one. So I was going to hold one at the Waldorf, and I postponed it. And one of my partners, we're trying to hash out the dates. You have to be my guest and speak about it, because we're going to focus on real estate. So I got the top real estate girls. One of my girls, she's like the top real estate agent out here in LA, and then I got one of my girls from the show coming on. So let's
do it.
It's gonna be fun.
Let's do it. Real estate is one of those things Allah blessed me with at a very young age to know how to figure out how to do.
Yes, you got to come speak to us, Queen, because the market out here in California is, after that tax, they've increased interest rates. We need some help out here, girl. You got to come.
Our bubble got to pop though. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's unsustainably expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about it, sis, and invite me out. I'm there.
Come over. Come to my home. I just want my home.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We're going to talk offline.
All right. Love you, Queen.
Okay. Love you too. Assalamu
alaikum. Salam. Peace.
All right. That was my Sister Mecca. Please go and download her book, American Mecca, Diary of a Dope Girl. Go to 5oceansbooking.com. Listen, whether you want to be in entertainment or not, just take the time. You know what I do? If my family, friends, if they got a business or they got something going on, you know what I do? I just go support. I just go click on it, download it, whatever it is, and just pay it and do it, because we have to start taking care of one another. Remember, there's $1 trillion that passes through the hands of Black people in America every year. You can't tell me we don't have money. We just got to learn how to start recycling that. We got the money. We are not poor. We are not broke. None of that. We may not know who we are, but we got money and we spend money. And so let's start putting somebody else in front of that money instead of other cultures, and let the money circulate a little bit more into our communities. So I'm sorry I didn't go to the chat a lot tonight. I see you there, Sister Sandra. She said, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. You enjoyed the show. I'm so grateful that you enjoyed it. Thank you, Brother Ronald, for jumping in. Thank you. Thank you. I see y'all kind of quiet today. So this week on Sajda Saturday Morning Coffee Talk, I have not decided yet. Haven't gotten the download of what we're going to talk about, but we will figure it out. We are working on our exhibit for Savior's Day. I hope you all will come and see us at the NOI historical exhibit that's going to be there in the arena. We're there every year. It's going to be a special year, though. This one's going to be bigger and better, the best ever. Every year I say this Savior's Day is the best Savior's Day ever. So I'm looking forward to this coming Savior's Day being the best Savior's Day ever. So I ask, as you all see, that you help support the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum. Take a little weight off your sister's shoulder. Just go to supportsajdahouse.com and support, buy a coin. You saw Mecca had her coin. Mecca also has a couple of pendants as well. She's been an amazingly supportive sister. If you also enjoy this platform, let me give you our the Cash App. If you support this platform and you like these shows and you like what you see, then go to Sajda Enterprise, Give Back Enterprises on Cash App, give back, make a donation. We're giving you this free game, and I'm going to do my best to continue to give the free game. And I thank Allah for you all supporting me. So anyway, with that, family, we will see you all Saturday for the Sajda Saturday morning coffee talk, where we talk about life, love, and business. And go back and check out some of the other shows. I've done shows on manifestation. I've done a show on the master key system. I've done shows on the accomplishments of the Muslims. There's shows on here about intuition and competition and negotiating and you name it, perception, just all these different tools that you need to tap into in order to be an entrepreneur, so that we continue to grow and expand our mind. So go through here. I'm also on I'm on SoundCloud, I'm on iHeart, Spotify, so you can listen in your car. One of the things that I do, and I especially did when I was first starting out in business, my car was literally a rolling university. When I was on the bus with my Walkman, that was my rolling university with my cassette tapes. And I was on that bus studying and learning. When I would take the train into work, it was the rolling unit. I got my little CD player, it was the rolling university. When I started traveling in the consulting world, I'm on the plane, my earphones in, and I'm on YouTube and I'm studying a subject, I'm reading. So these are kind of things that you can do with these amazing tools that we have at our fingertips. When I'm in a hotel, I get up in the morning. If normally I might have other things to do. If I'm kind of stuck in the hotel, I'll take that hour and I'll make sure that I'm studying and reading, studying my Quran, studying my business books and other subjects. Just broadening my horizons and my educational horizons, I should say. So this is important. I'm a student. I've been a student since the day I was born, and I'll be a student till the day I die. And I study something every single day. Today, now I am restudying. I'm reworking on the restrictive laws of Islam. So I've been studying that. And I have another book here. I'm studying also Black Chicago's first century and studying all these business people that actually made Chicago great. It's important to me. I'm studying the businesses that we were into after Reconstruction, because I'm working on I have two books I'm actually working on. One I'm not going to tell you the name of, but the other one, of course, you all know, is The Making of Sajda House. So anyway, with that, family, I will see you all Saturday, inshallah, on the Sajda Saturday morning coffee talk. Please support sajdahouse.com. Make sure you Cash App, send us a donation to Sajda Enterprises. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Listen, this is all about preserving Black history, preserving our history. I bought this 12,000 square foot mansion with a 2,000 square foot coach house that formerly was the home of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I've been working the last now 4 years to convert it into a museum. And I'm just that close. It's been independently funded, independently designed, but really independently funded. And so it's been over a $5 million project. We're close to at the end. So I always say, help your sister push this baby right on out. So you may feel like whatever you give is not enough, but it is enough. It's always something. If it's coming from your heart, I receive your love offerings. So go to supportsajdahouse.com. That's supportsajdahouse.com. gmail.com. All right, we'll see you all Saturday. Don't go anywhere. I got 2 cute commercials I want y'all to check out. Not just cute, but cute and informative. All right, peace and blessings.
And I'm saying this to all of us. Our people are ready to spend their money with their own. There's no time better than this for 6 or 8 of you to pool your money and look in the community and open up a store to fulfill the needs of our people, and we will support you. It's your time now. That's being a man. Supporting your own people that are in business. Going into business yourself. Think out of the box. What can you create that will put black people to work?
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Get up and let's go and do something. Yes, sir. We cannot sit down. We cannot lay down. Yes, sir. We must get up. Yes, sir. And go to work.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.